Thank you, Ramzi. Thank you, Ayman, for your question. Before answering your question, I will read out the press release or the media release of the CAF disciplinary board and the sanctions given to the Senegalese Football Federation of Football and also to the Moroccan Federation to the Royal Moroccan Federation of Football. Let me read out real quick the press release and then I will give my opinion about these sanctions. CAF disciplinary board imposes sanctions on the Fédération Sénégalaise de Football. First of all, this is we cannot use or use French terms on an English press release. This is completely wrong. We don't say Fédération Sénégalaise de Football because it's a French term. We should say, and my message is to the person in charge of writing this press release in CAF, we say Senegalese Football Federation, FSF, Senegalese Football Federation. That is the first mistake that CAF has done in this press release. The second mistake that CAF has done, we don't say Fédération Royale Marocaine de Football. As I said, this is a French term, but we say the Royal Moroccan Federation of Football. So if you want to write an English press release, you have to use the exact English words and not French words in an English or French terms in an English press release. Let me finish out by reading this release and then I will give my opinion. The Confederation, and then again, here they go again, the Confédération Africaine de Football. No, it's the African Confederation of Football. Disciplinary board imposed sanctions on the Senegalese Federation of Football and the Royal Moroccan Federation of Footballs, and certain players and officials for the incidents during the total CAF Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2025 final, which violated the CAF disciplinary code. The CAF disciplinary board took the following decisions on the Senegalese Federation of Football Federation of Football. To suspend Mr. Pape Thiaw, the head coach of the Senegalese national team, for 5 official CAF matches for his unsupporting conduct in violation of the CAF disciplinary code principles of fair play and integrity, and for bringing the game into this dispute. So first of all, I would like to speak about the first sanction towards the head coach of the national team of Senegal, which they gave him only 5 games. I have a couple of questions to ask the people or the board members in charge of the disciplinary departments at CAF. The first sanction in which you should punish or sanction the coach is you have to know how many minutes he came late in the press conference, which was held, the pre-match conference, which was held, of course, before the final. He came 30 minutes to 40 minutes late. The press conference room held almost 400 to 500 African journalists. How can you leave this big amount of journalists, by respect to the African medias, by respect to the Senegalese medias, by respect to the Moroccan medias, you cannot leave journalists waiting for you 30, 40 minutes with no apology letter, with not saying and giving proofs why you came late. This has to be, first of all, the coach of Senegal should be sanctioned for coming late to the press conference. Second of all, I'm gonna speak briefly about his negative behavior towards the Moroccan press as well after the game. Why wasn't he sanctioned for this? Why wasn't he sanctioned for speaking in a bad manner and in a bad way and in a way which doesn't represent fair play, neither in the African continent, neither at the FIFA aspect? You cannot come and insult and speak in a bad manner to the Moroccan journalists and to other journalists which were not Senegalese. You cannot show them the middle and try to create a problem out of nothing. So I think this is the second thing that CAF hasn't mentioned, and they haven't given him any fine for this. I don't see it. Normally, this should give him 2 to 3 other suspension, 2 to 3 other games in which he should be suspended. So, as I said, first of all, coming late to the press conference, the pre-press conference before the game. Second of all, speaking in a bad manner to the Moroccan journalists, and third of all, and this is something I'm going to speak about also, insulting the Moroccan players and the Moroccan head coach. So the CAF also gave him a fine of $100,000, which I think is, I don't understand. It's ununderstandable. I think first of all he should be suspended minimum 2 to 3 years, in which he should not be coaching at the international level, or also at the Africa level, because he gave a bad image of what coaches or African coaches should be doing and how they should be reacting, or how they should be respecting the fair play rules and the fair play conditions. And these young generation of coaches, also coaches who, also African citizens who are willing to be coaches, have a bad image right now of what African coaches should look like because of these negative behavior of coach Pap Chiao, which I think he deserves 2 to 3 years suspension. And this is my message to CAF. Please, today, African football has a great image by this AFCON 2025 organized here in Morocco. I would like to ask you, as a journalist, and of course as a Moroccan citizen, to be more firm into giving sanctions, because the whole world and the whole media and the media which were present in that game saw how Pap Chiao affected negatively and gave a negative impact to this game by his behavior. I don't know if to call it childish or if to call it a behavior which doesn't suit today with a professional coach. Yesterday, when I watched Benfica against Real Madrid and how Jose Mourinho shook hands with Arbeloa and how he clapped to the Real Madrid fans even though they were playing in Portugal, this is an example of a good coach. A good coach does not go and provoke fans, provoke journalists, provoke players, provoke coaches. Sorry, but CAF has to be more firm. And I think even I had a phone call with many international lawyers, which they did not understand these sanctions given by CAF, and which is not new, of course, about CAF. Many things happened in the old days of Mr. Isa Hayatu and even during the days of Ahmed, but CAF sadly doesn't sanction the way they should sanction people for these kind of behaviors that create hooliganism, that create, bad behavior and bad conduct by the fans and also people around the sports and the football sector. The second thing is to suspend, after Pap Chiao, we're going to read out the second suspension, which was forwarded to the player Sheikh Ndai. Sheikh Ndai, who has 2 official CAF matches for his unsupporting behavior towards the referee. I don't know if these CAF board members or these disciplinary CAF members were watching the same game as we were watching, because sadly, Mr. Sheikh Ndai, for his behavior, for his negative acts for what he has done, I think, in my opinion, should be sanctioned minimum 10 to 20 games. And as I said, of course, and I will repeat, when there is a final of the AFCON, you have the young generation watching. You have the future African players watching. You have the future referees watching. You have the future coaches. What image are you going to give this kid? And everybody, the whole world, was waiting for severe sanctions towards the national Senegalese team. But when you give a player who created big problems during this game, who gave a negative impact to this game, you give him two official CAF matches, this is a question mark to all the members of CAF disciplinary departments. And I am asking, is this the image you want to give to the African football? Is this the image today? Because the whole world has been waiting for these sanctions. But is this the image you want to give to the world, to the international medias, to the everyone watching football? Is this the image you want to give them? That CAF is not fair in how they sanction players who deserve to be sanctioned? Because all of these decisions made, I think, is not, I think, in my opinion, first of all, it's not fair. Second of all, it doesn't match with what the actions or what happened during the game. So I hope that the Moroccan Federation of Football pays attention to all these points said during this CAF disciplinary meeting. And I think that the president of the Moroccan Royal Federation should go beyond CAF and take it to TAS. TAS is the international international law department in which they take firm and strong decisions towards whoever or whatever decisions that the other teams or the other national teams think it's not right or it's not fair, or things have to take the legal and the normal sanctions that should be taken. By this said, there is another suspension for the Senegalese national team, which I'm speaking about Mr. Ismail Assar, who is also suspended for two official CAF matches. And as I said about the head coach and also about Ndai, I think that this is really not understandable. And these sanctions give many question marks about the future of CAF, the legal future of CAF, and also after all they made, after all the negative impact they gave, how come CAF only suspends these players only for 2 games? 2 games after the acts we saw of hooliganism, after many things, only 2 games. This is another question to be asked to CAF and to all CAF disciplinary department members. To find the federation, the Senegal Federation of Football, $300 for the unsupporting conduct of their players and technical staff and violence of CAF disciplinary code principles of fair play, loyalty, and integrity. The unsupporting conduct of their players and technical staff also brought the game into this disrepute. To find the federation, the Senegal Federation of Football, $15,000 for the misconduct of its national team due to 5 of its players having received cautions. So, I'm not going to speak about the CAF decisions towards the national Moroccan team because I don't. I have nothing to say because I think Hakimi or Sabiri don't deserve to. Hakimi has been sanctioned 2 games and Sabiri 3 games, so I think this is understandable because the Moroccans were the victims. The Moroccan national team was the victim in what happened during this final. So about $300,000. I think also it's not understandable because the fine should be higher because they have broken seats, they have broken chairs, they have broken publicity, the publicity inside the stadium. They have broken many sides of the stadium, and then you come and you give them 300,000 US dollars. This is understandable from CAF, and I think that CAF needs to review again these sanctions. And I hope that the Moroccan Federation goes to the TAS and goes to all the biggest organizations of sports, FIFA, TAS, whatever it takes. So this sanctions or the decisions will be changed, and inshallah, by doing these actions from the Moroccan Federation of Football, I think that the decisions will be changed and that Morocco or Senegal will receive what they deserve to receive as hard and big sanctions for the negative image they have shown to the world about African football and about Senegalese football. Thank you.
هذا البرنامج قدم لكم من طرف كوتي سبور. كوتي سبور منتوجة المغربية للألعاب والرياضة.
MDGS نربح الرياضة.